listen to that, Mike. Racing here obviously is very special.
Well, without a doubt, and especially if you grew up in Southern California, which a lot, especially the old-time drag racers did. Coming here for the Winter Nationals has always been special.
And now coming out is Tony Schumacher, the 7-time Top Fuel champion. He has 2 wins here at the Winter Nationals. He will go up against Troy Buff. It's a Bill Miller built and designed car, and Troy's 4th year with Bill Miller Racing.
Well, we're going to have to watch that left-hand lane. Like I said, that for some reason here in Pomona, in the past, the left lane, the rubber just doesn't quite bond as well in the left-hand lane as it does in the right-hand lane, especially when you have some rain. It looks pretty good out there. We'll have to see some more cars run, but obviously the lane of choice at this point is going to be the right-hand lane for fuel.
Larry Dixon, the new national record holder. They bring his car out of the staging lanes toward the start line. Troy Buff raced in a semifinal 2009 at Seattle, where he lost to Tony Schumacher. That's his best race ever in Top Fuel. Wow, big fire for Troy Buff, big win for Tony Schumacher. 327 miles an hour. Tony Schumacher runs a 378 and takes the win.
You talk about some big speed. Tony Schumacher makes a very nice run. Troy Buff gets just before the finish line, starts mixing it up, and boy, explodes that entire engine. He pretty much was giving him a really good race to about half track, maybe about 400 or 500 feet, and then Tony started pulling away. But I'll tell you what, it didn't have a whole lot of indication before anything was going to go wrong. Just mix the cylinder up a little bit, and then boom, it just launched everything out of there. So you can see Tony pulling the parachute to get his car stopped, and Troy Buff, boy, he's got her lit up right at that point.
In a sport of speeds, the fastest speed ever for Schumacher. A flame in the parts, though.
Now, if you take a look at it, the total engine cost on one of these Top Fuel dragsters is $60,000. And I can tell you, with an explosion like that, there probably isn't going to be a whole lot of parts left after this explosion. And a lot of times when this happens, possibly broke a crankshaft or the camshaft broke, causing it to fire all that fuel in the manifold, because it didn't look like it was laying over bad enough to cause that much damage. I really think something must have broke it internally.
Yeah, but what it did do is put a little oil on the track, and NHRA has a new policy for all of that, Mike Dunn.
Yeah, all the drivers are given 1 free oil down credit. Then the first violation after that in qualifying is a $1,000 fine, loss of 5 points, and the loss of that run. And the first violation in eliminations, which we just saw, would be a $1,000 fine plus a loss of 10 points and possible lane choice. The second violation, then you're starting to get in trouble. $2,000 for the fine, 10 points to lose in qualifying, and 20 points in eliminations. Plus, you would lose lane choice if you would have had it. Subsequent violations, and NHRA will review those violations and determine further penalties.
And that applies, by the way, to not just the pros, everybody at the track. There